Hi guys, Charlie Lambden here, founder of BestAgent, and in this video, in under 10 minutes, I want to share with you the behavior of all the most successful agents that I've worked with over the last 20 years, which to me comes across as the simple, secret approach to agency that makes it much easier in the long run. As all the best agents know, estate agency is about people more than it is about property because people flow through property. Now, having said that, the whole end game of an estate agency business is to get a deal over the line, a complete exchange or completion, so you can issue your invoice and get paid your fee. Because until you get to that point, you don't get a fee. But you can't get a deal without an offer. You can't get an offer without a viewing. You can't get a viewing without an instruction, and you can't get an instruction without people choosing to talk to you first and then choosing you over the other agents that they talk to. So for that reason, as you all know, the essence of an estate agent's business viability to begin with is how many people want to talk to you about selling their house as opposed to other agents. Now, I know all this might sound obvious at this point, but bear with me. I've designed 3 estate agency CRM systems from the ground up. And the first one I designed went to a countrywide brand in London, and it transformed their business. As it did with one of the next clients was Dexter's when they were very small, and it transformed the growth of their business. And it came down to this simple thing. What I realized was that the single most frequent operation or function or task of an estate agency business is registering applicants. There is no other job that you do more frequently than registering applicants, and it becomes highly time consuming, and it gets the perception of also being a massive waste of time because 95% of the people that you register aren't going to earn you any money. Well, I want to challenge that assumption. And I'm not talking about referral income or anything like that. I'm talking about purely about increasing the chances of getting instructed to increase the chance of getting a fee. Every single person who buys a home in the patch that your estate agency covers, whether they buy it with you or any other agent, is likely to become a seller within the next few years, but next 5-7 years or so on average, okay? Especially first-time buyers. Every buyer who buys in your patch is going to become a seller. Every buyer in your patch is therefore a potential future client. Now, I know you know this, but I'm talking about changing the attitude to how you register applicants. And there are a lot of businesses that say that they do this. Oh, yes, we treat every applicant as a potential future client. But actually, if you were to experience what those applicants experience, you'd find out that no, you haven't just been treated like a potential future client at all. You've been left feeling like you don't want to talk to that agent. Again, that's what happens with and it's because a lot of us are too busy. But here's the thing. Every single phone call with a potential buyer in your area is the beginning of a relationship that might lead to several other things. First of all, that buyer, as you all know, 1 in 3 on average of the buyers registering in an area have got something to sell in your area, okay? Obviously not for their first-time buyer, but the others do. Secondly, they all know other people in your area, and therefore they are a potential introducer to other people who may also be thinking of selling. And the statistics that we worked out was that if every applicant at the point of registration is asked the question, do you know anyone else thinking of selling their home in this area? Roughly 1 in 20 did know that. 1 in 20 said, yeah, actually I do. And, oh, could we get an introduction to them? So every single applicant is an opportunity to get introduced to somebody else. My camera's battery is about to go flat. I'm just going to hope that it doesn't go flat before I finish. No, we're okay. We've got 20% remaining. So even if they don't buy through you, that applicant is a potential introduction to somebody else. And just the way you leave them feeling might make them actually want to recommend you. If they are left feeling rushed and dismissed on that phone call, they're not going to bother opening their address book and introducing to other people. And it costs zero to do this, but you've got to make sure that you incentivize your negotiators to do this, right? Now, let's assume that they actually register with you and they start viewing with you. The way that you treat them with every interaction, and again, assume that they're not going to buy with you because there's no control of whether they do or whether they don't. But you can still leave every applicant, even if they buy with someone else, wanting to sell with you when the day comes. And if they do buy with you, of course, you've then got a potential future seller in the bank, so to speak, provided they had a good experience with you. And so what I'm saying is, I know that an awful lot of agents find the process of managing applicants and registering applicants to be time consuming. And oh my God, I haven't got time to talk to you. I've got deals to progress and everything else. But every single one should be treated. Now, listen, I'm not saying that you've got time to spend hours and hours and hours talking to every single applicant that registers. Of course you haven't. But the bar is so low in the industry in general, especially among the corporate agents, the bar is so low that it's very easy to stand out as an agent that they want to recommend and refer and talk to. So every applicant inquiry, even if they don't buy through you, is a potential seller, possibly. You don't know that until you've spoken to them and asked them. And it's I will never forget how many negotiators working for my estate agency clients didn't even ask that question. You think, well, hang on a second, that's obvious. But that's if you're a business owner. A lot of negotiators don't ask the question. How many of them do know someone who's selling and looking to sell? And you've only just asked the question. It takes 5 seconds. The answer's no, 19 times out of 20. But one time in 20, yeah, actually, I do know someone who's selling. And if they've liked talking to you, they're going to want to recommend that person to talk to you. Number 3, they might buy with you. So this is the point, right? But of course, you've got to qualify them. You want to make sure that they are actually a realistic buyer, of course. And it's very, very careful. It's very important that you are careful that you don't end up spending disproportionate amounts of time on applicants that are unlikely to become buyers in your area, but that you do spend the appropriate amount of time talking to applicants who are going to become owners in your area, even if they don't buy through you. Now, if you are a big, busy office with lots of negotiators don't care about the long-term future of your business like you do. So you've got to incentivize and motivate them to actually treat those. And I've seen companies that did this. And the first one that comes to mind was Douglas and Gordon in London when Ivor Dickinson was the boss. They were exceptionally good at that. And I had clients as well who I worked with. And we saw a massive increase because we used to track the source of every instruction, a massive increase in market appraisal inquiries coming from applicant registrations just because they incentivize negotiators to ask this question every single time. Do you have something to sell? And this is the other thing. It was amazing how often the negotiator would ask, do you have something to sell? And they say yes. And that would not reach the valuations manager of that office. So your internal communications are important, your systems are important. And I want to finish up with this, because imagine if you do this process for 2 or 3 or 4 years, it's like a snowball. And you end up being in the position where, as with the best agents that I know, between 50 and 75% of all your new business walks in the door, metaphorically. They ring you up, they walk in the door, they email you when it's time to sell, and they don't even go anywhere else. And that's what I mean about making your future easier. And that business comes at higher fees, and you've already got an existing relationship or an existing reputation. The point is that although you won't see any immediate return on investment on that policy today, you'll be amazed how quickly you will start to see it. Within 3 months, you'll start to see a noticeable increase in new instruction opportunities by adopting this approach. And within a year, honestly, it's like a snowball. It really, really is. And it's a fantastic weapon against the mediocre to poor service levels of most agents. Now, guys, I hope that's helpful. Have a great day. If you haven't already done so, please join BestAgent, bestagent.co.uk, and help join my campaign to absolutely kill overvaluing once and for all, because overvaluing kills transactions, and killing transactions kills your businesses. So that's what I want to do this year. Thanks for following. Follow me on LinkedIn. Follow me on X, BestAgent Boss. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're an agent and you aren't already subscribed to the BestAgent YouTube channel. You can also follow me on Instagram, and I will talk to you on the next video. Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.